I'm going to have to
Hello, everyone, and we are welcoming you to 30 Parks in 30 Days, San Francisco Giants edition. And Darren, how you doing tonight?
Well, I foibled our beginning because I'm so excited about talking about the San Francisco Giants. This is a team that sort of became my home team other than the Mets when I lived for 16 years out in California. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, I knew you were going to kind of look forward to this one. There's a few that always pencil in, and I definitely understand that, like having that secondary team that's local. And so it's exciting to be, even though your team is not, it's not your number one team, there's something about being in the atmosphere with the diehards and all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, yep. So, getting into that, before we do, one thing we would have to do is let everyone know about our sponsors and our good friends over at Nashville Tax Solutions. So, if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit about
Attention,
them,
Palm Bay and Fort Pierce. Are you struggling with tax issues? Whether you're behind on filings, dealing with a lien, or you just need expert guidance, Nashville Tax Solutions here to help. Their team knows the ins and the outs of tax relief, and they're ready to fight for you. Yes, you, right there. You, even you over there, ready to fight for you. But just don't take my word for it. Listen to what some of the clients have told Mike and I. Chris Bennett and his team saved me from a financial nightmare. They're knowledgeable, they're clear, and they're compassionate. So don't let tax troubles keep you up at night. Call 855-627-4829 and visit NashvilleTaxSolutions.com or email info@NashvilleTaxSolutions.com today. Nashville Tax Solutions, because tax problems deserve real solutions.
Yes, they do. And thank you, Christopher Bennett and team, always supporting us. We appreciate that. And we know that we're going to get to 2,000 subscribers by the middle of this year, or if not sooner. So we are right on the road to that, over 1,830 now. So thank each and every one of you. So with that said, Darren, we're going to talk about the Giants, and let's get into it. Let's get into the lineup, the projected lineup for the San Francisco Giants of 2025. And there's some new names there, notably in the projected two-hole, a guy by the name of Willy Adames, a guy who did not get an opportunity really to shine with the Tampa Bay Rays. He didn't get to play every day. And similar to guys like Justin Turner, who, you can't see the full picture if you're playing one or two times a week. Willy Adames goes to Milwaukee and is a game changer, kind of filling the void left from Ryan Braun many, many years ago before that. So, but looking over this lineup, Darren, with Willy Adames in the two-hole, what do you think he brings to this team in terms of because there's some big boy teams ahead of them in that division they got to catch, but guys like him and some other names, do you foresee them improving significantly because of Willy Adames, or are they still a few pieces away?
There's a variable here that we're not bringing up that we need to. He's replacing a legend at shortstop.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys like David Wright with the Mets. Let's use him, for example. Not easy just to step in and play that position, even if you're very, very talented, because of the love that people had for him. Well, and I think he can handle it and do a good job. It's going to take a little while. I will not be surprised if he struggles a bit out of the gate. And the Giants cannot afford a slow start. They have to sprint from opening day until the end of the season. And because it's tough. I think the Padres are going to take a step back, but I think the Giants can fit in that two-hole if things work out well for them. I think, it's funny. I live up in Massachusetts, and, Carl Yastrzemski was a legend with the Red Sox. I think Mike Yastrzemski needs to step up this year.
Yeah.
And I hope that wasn't too long-winded of an answer, but that's what I believe.
Yeah, no. And, again, another big name, as you know, Darren and I are diehard Mets fans, and Another name in that lineup, constant over the last few years, has been Wilmer Flores, and so it's nice to
Oh,
see.
and the fans
him.
love him. The fans love
Yeah.
him, and you know why? I mean, the Met fans loved him.
Yeah, yep, that's true. And so, but you guys can look there at the bottom is the projected lineup for the San Francisco Giants. And Darren mentioned a few names there. Another one that doesn't get talked about too much, but is Matt Chapman, third base, a ton of power. And so if he can get any kind of protection, this is a team that can score a lot of runs. The problem is the beast of the division that they're in. But Darren, I want to move into the rotation because you have Logan Webb, the anchor of the staff, rightfully so, for the Giants, but a new face, a very expensive new face, but Justin Verlander is now a San Francisco Giant. Now, here's the thing. We talked recently on another episode about the Toronto Blue Jays and Matt Scherzer's impact. What worries me here is that Justin Verlander is projected in the 2 spot, whereas Scherzer was projected in the 4. So, guys like Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, Kyle Harrison, who also are in that rotation, really are going to need to carry some of that workload because Justin Verlander as a 2 does worry me just a little bit. What do you think?
I think, again, your baseball knowledge is spot on. I mean, it really is. I think that it is, you're setting up Justin to fail by putting him in that 2 spot. Now, he can still do some good things, but this reminds me of when the big unit went to the Giants late in his career. No gas left in the tank. I think that that's what we're going to have with Justin Verlander.
Yeah, unfortunately, is probably the case. And, of course, he's there on the 1-year deal, Willy Adames on the 7-year deal. But let's talk about some of the players that they lost, Darren. Left-handed pitcher Blake Snell going to the Dodgers. That's never something that you want to see going right to the division. Same with Michael Conforto. I don't know if they got in the same vehicle, but they both went to the Dodgers.
Well, the HOV lane, south, boom. It's perfect.
Right there. Yep, right there. So,
but I don't want to harken back to what I said earlier, but you can mention Blake Snell, you can mention Michael Conforto. I think Snell's a great pitcher, but I think losing Brandon Crawford is a bigger thing than both of those because people just loved him. And he hustled every play. And I think that losing Snell, it hurts because, look, I think the Giants are aware of the fact that they would love to overtake the Dodgers, but I think their job is to hit second place.
Yeah, and speaking of, you mentioned Brandon Crawford. Good thing ESPN is starting to no longer broadcast these MLB games going in next year. Not sure how he was left off of a notable subtractions list.
Right. I was thinking the same thing, buddy, because I was looking. I was researching.
He seems pretty.
14 years,
Yes, pretty notable, but whatever. Yes, I'm glad that they put left-handed pitcher Taylor Rogers on there. But
yeah, well, that's ESPN, right? Really?
Yes, right. Yep, you would think, but
that's a great point. Great point.
Yep. So one thing, as we start to wrap up this, anything can happen. Obviously you have some beasts in that division and teams that may or may not be as strong as they were, but all they can do is win the games on their schedule. It's not a schedule. One thing to keep in mind, sometimes it's easy to write a team off like the Giants, but they're not playing 19 times against the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks and the Padres. Mm-hmm. Now it's closer to 12 or 13 times. So that means that they're playing some of the other, maybe some weaker teams in the NL Central, maybe some of the bottom dwellers in the NL East, so there's and they're playing the American League, so they get to play the White Sox and teams like that. So anything can happen. So I'm going to, I really was wanting to, I like giving the thumbs up more than the X, but unfortunately I'm going to give the X for the 2025 year. I do miss the days where it seemed like every 3 years their misfit team would make the World Series and, just with a bunch of no names. But unfortunately, this is a team, though, Darren, that they did finish 80 and 82. So I can see them at least going to 500 with a couple win improvement. But That's not going to get the job done for a wild card spot or especially the division. So unfortunately, Giants, Rockies, and the Diamondbacks, which are 3 teams that we've covered so far as of this recording, we gave the Bay X's to, but that's okay. So your thoughts, looks like you agreed. Same thing with the Giants falling just short.
Absolutely. And I mean this with no shade toward Wilmer Flores, who we all love, but he's your DH. You're not overtaking,
Yeah.
You're going to fight for second place. You'll fall short.
Yeah. So, but Giants fans, anything can happen. You've got a roster, and they play ball games. So,
That's right. And you have 4 bases.
Yes. Yep. So,
but all kidding aside, though,
Yeah.
you can beat up on the Rockies. Maybe you can change the contract, make a phone call, and just play them.
Yes, that was good. I like.
Well, not as I'm sorry, not as funny as you'd think ESPN would mention Michael.
Yes, right. I mean, just what more does the guy have to do? But so, but at this rate, Giants, though, we're not we're not in the danger zone. They're not bottom tier by any means. A little bit better than last year, but they're still 2 to 3 years away from being a serious threat. But thank each and every one of you for watching along with us this episode of 30 Parks in 30 Days. Continue to watch along with us, and until next time, we'll see you around the ballpark.